Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel if you are new here. Hello, my name is V. I do post nail tutorials, nail talk videos, and lots of giveaways as well on my channel. We're going to be doing my client Brittany's nails. She is very much so loved on my channel, so if you are new here, well, welcome to the gang. We're going to get started by removing her current design, technically just her top coat, as I'm going to be doing a fill on her existing set. Now do note, if you've been watching me for a while, I keep mentioning that I wanted to bring my dust collector in from Kiara Sky to use it in the salon setting. That way I can give you guys really good feedback or a more in salon setting review. So here we are. I finally remembered to bring it with me and I am so happy that I did. I'm totally going to be getting a second one so that I can have one at home as well. The dust collector does such a good job of keeping the dust just in the area you are working. Of course, I have some dust coming onto my gloves, which is completely normal. But besides that, there was very, very, very little amounts that actually got on me, if any. So I was so happy and definitely regretted not bringing this to the salon a lot sooner. I'm pretty much just using my Efile at a speed of about 9,000 RPMs. And I am going to be using a 5-in-1 bit throughout this process. I'm really just focusing on that top coat since we are going to be doing an acrylic fill. If you've ever questioned getting a dust collector, I 100% recommend it. Not only is this going to help keep all that dust away from you inhaling it, but also will help prevent any allergies to the product like I did when I first started doing nails. So 10 out of 10 recommend this, and it is honestly the strongest dust collector that I have ever used. So 100% think it is worth the money that it costs. So we're just gonna go ahead and finish removing that. Next, I'm gonna go into my prep process, and we're gonna be focusing on that natural nail that has been exposed over time with the growth of her nail. First, I'm going to be going in with this small mandrel bit from Kiara Sky. I am using a medium grit sanding band for this, and I am going down on my speed of my Efile to 4,000 RPMs. If you have a not polished Efile like I do, I recommend you go down to 3,000 because this thing is powerful. So we're going to focus on removing the shine from her natural nail. I am using very, very light pressure when doing this. And if she has any lifting, I'm going to go ahead and remove it at this point as well. This just makes everything start looking nice and clean. It's going to help the acrylic adhere to her natural nail. If we leave that shine or any oils on that nail, the acrylic or product you are applying on will lift. So always make sure you are doing this before going in with your actual product.
Sobrepasar los límites de tu figura, bajar por tu cuerpo y llevarte a las alturas. Tenerte sería una experiencia religiosa. Este mahón es otra cosa. Sigue peleándome así como.
Now I'm going in with my hand file of choice. This is a Tammy Taylor peel and stick file. We're going to be filing those sides, making sure that we make that shape nice and crisp. Pretty much rough filing at this point because I will still be filing towards the end. So this is just kind of like a let's try to make it crisp, but I'm not making it super sharp since we are still going to be applying acrylic over that nail. So I'm going in side to side, making sure that I'm holding the opposite side so that the nail doesn't wiggle back and forth. This is going to help tremendously with any shaping issues you may have, and the hand file of your choice should always be a nice, sturdy, stiff one. I know they can sometimes be pricey, but it is 100% worth it. I love these from Tammy Taylor and I always recommend them. They are always my go-to. No matter which other hand files I use, I always come back to this one. It is just so sturdy. It's easy to clean and easy to change out. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that, and then we're gonna be doing a little bit more prep on that nail because we want to try to get all that dead skin from up under that cuticle. I'm going in with this diamond bit. It is super tiny and it is a tapered bit. So I'm going in around those hard to reach areas to make sure that I fully remove that dead skin again so that the product adheres properly. I'm quickly cleansing the surface of the nail using a lint-free wipe and a little bit of Young Nail Swipe. This is going to help remove that excess dust without leaving any lint behind, but it's also going to slightly dehydrate the nail from all those excess oils that our nails naturally produce. Now I am going in with a dehydrator. This is optional if you are using the Young Nail Swipe like I do. I just started implementing this in my process to see if it makes a difference because I do have some clients that have been experiencing lifting. So we're gonna see in a few weeks how their nails hold up. Now I'm going in with acrylic primer from Kiara Sky. This is HEMA free and it does have like a gel-like consistency to it, so do note that. I'm just adding a thin layer of that near her cuticles down to the growth of her nail, and then we're going right into our acrylic application. For reference, I'm using the size 12 acrylic brush from Not Polish, and for my monomer of choice, it is a Kiara Sky monomer. Now, since we are going to be doing a basic acrylic fill, nothing fancy, I'm pretty much just taking about a medium-sized bead of acrylic and I go in right at the cuticle area, hold the finger downwards, push it up, and then let the product flow and blend it downwards. I am also slightly rebalancing these nails. If you're not familiar with that term, it's pretty much where you look at the nail from every single angle and you apply acrylic wherever it is needed to get the perfect shape. If you do not notice, the nail does start growing out, which means the nail is going to be slightly compromised with where you have your apex. The thickness is going to slide downwards, so you're either going to have to bring some of it down or add some depending on what area you're working on. So for now, I'm pretty much just doing my acrylic fill, and then I am bringing up the apex slightly, but also infilling any little area that needs to be infilled. Now for the acrylic of choice, we are using a very, very sheer milky white. You can make this concoction on your own. I pretty much just took milky white and some clear to make it extremely sheer, more of a natural color, since that is pretty much what she has on her nails. I wanted to kind of match it, but it honestly didn't really matter because we are going to be going over it with gel polish, but I still try to keep my base as similar as possible. That way when she comes in next time and if she still has the same set, we can work throughout the same color and it doesn't cause any type of disturbance with our application process. So now I'm going in with my e-file. We're gonna start filing those nails. I first focus on that cuticle area with my e-file at about 9,000 RPMs, and I'm using a 5-in-1 bit, the same one that I used at the beginning to bring down the top coat, but I'm gonna be using very light pressure when doing this. I am going in that cuticle area just to make sure that the acrylic is nice and flush to the natural nail. This is a safety bit, so please be careful regardless, but it is definitely a lot safer than those hard cut ones. This one is pretty safe to get near that skin, but again, use it with caution and be mindful of your client's skin. I'm gonna go ahead and lightly file over top of the surface of the nail as well, just to kind of blend in that acrylic that I applied over the existing acrylic. I'm going in with that final hand filing process, and I'm at this point going to make sure that it is nice and crisp. I am adding a little bit of a rounded tip to her nail just because a lot of the time her nails do break, and it's just natural kind of wear and tear from them being so long and the tip of it being so skinny. So I'm not making it as crisp as I typically would. I'm leaving the slightest amount of roundedness to that tip. So we're gonna go ahead and finish that. Next, we're gonna be buffing with a sponge buffer and making sure that that surface is nice and smooth. Now for her nail art, she requested a jelly red gel polish. So that is exactly what we're giving my girl. We are using this beautiful red color from Profiles Backstage. If y'all didn't know, they have some of the best jelly polishes out there. They are hands down my favorite. Very, very vibrant colors, not milky at all, which is what I have experienced before with other brands. These are just crisp, beautiful colors, and they have so many different ones. But I'm going to be using this deep red color. It is stunning and perfect to pair on top of her existing set. I absolutely adore how it looks, kind of with the glitter shimmering through. It was just that little touch of extraness that we didn't know we needed and we didn't know she wanted. So we're going to go ahead and add a thin layer of that, and then we're going to be curing in the light for a full 60 seconds. You could do 2 rounds if you prefer that, but I'm just gonna go in there with the 90-second option on my light. Once I have my base layer of that jelly polish, I'm going in there one more time to just make sure that my sides are fully covered. I messed up right there, so I'm just taking a 3D brush, taking a little bit of Young Nail Swipe. I use that stuff for everything. It's wonderful for cleaning up mistakes as well. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of that on my tip of my brush, and then we're gonna wipe it away. I'm gonna go ahead and just smooth out the rest of the gel polish as well before I go into my light. Once that red is fully cured, I'm gonna go in with some very, very, very light pink gel liner. And I am using the short liner from Veeda Bella here, and we're gonna be doing some hearts. That's pretty much the gist of the rest of the design. We're gonna be doing hearts, different sizes, different positions. We're just going to layer those on each of the nails coming down towards the tip. I absolutely love how this turned out. It is so simple, but so freaking cute. Now imagine this with a sugared heart or a textured heart with some acrylic powder on there. It would look so beautiful. But we're just gonna keep it like this. Again, very, very light pink. I took my pastel pink liner with some white and I mixed it together. You can't even tell probably on camera that it is any shade of pink, but it is not white, I promise you that. So we're gonna go in and add those hearts very carefully with my liner brush from Veeda Bella. And I'm just starting with one little teardrop on one side, the second one on the other side, and then we connect it nicely in the center. That's like the easiest way I have found to do my hearts. Some people do dots and then connect those with the V and then infill. That's also super easy. But for whatever reason, I just like to do this process. For me, in my head, it makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and finish drawing on those hearts. We're gonna cure again for a full 60 seconds. Once we're done, we're gonna go ahead and add our top coat. This is Gloss It from Not Polish. Hands down my favorite top coat. We're gonna be adding a thin layer of that. Make sure you get all those sides, especially the nail art, so that it is nice and fully covered. Once you're done applying that, go ahead and cure in the light for 60 seconds. I like to do 2 rounds just to be safe. Lastly, we're going to be topping off these nails with the Sweet V cuticle oil from Profiles Backstage. If you didn't know, it is my collab with them and it smells so good. I'm going to be rubbing that into her cuticles. That pretty much concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.